It's a human, but it's
Therefore, they should have human rights.
No, I do not agree.
Oh, so small humans, no human rights. Grown humans, human rights.
It's not a small human. It's an embryo.
It has a heartbeat. It has brain waves.
That does not make it a child.
The excuses given for abortion is dehumanization. Oh, it's just an embryo. Guys, that's just using different language to justify the massacre of something smaller than you. Yeah.
If I were to be pregnant right now and forced to have a baby, that would ruin my life. If I just happened to be pregnant.
Oh, well, you don't happen to get pregnant. It's not like getting COVID.
I know how it works.
You don't get the flu.
I know.
How about this? You take responsibility for your orgasms and stop eliminating people smaller than you.
So
Are you a Christian by any chance?
Very, very much so.
Like, why is that exactly?
Oh, Jesus saved my life. I'm a sinner, gave my life to Christ, most important decision I ever made.
So you believe the Bible is real?
Yes, I believe the Bible is true and real. Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, I could give you the technical answer. There's never been an archaeological discovery that has contradicted the truth of the Bible. And then, of course, the wisdom. There's not a truth of the Bible that if you apply to your life does not improve dramatically. And then finally, we have the most accurate and transparent, historically robust account that one can have of the most important figure ever to live in the history of the world, Jesus of Nazareth. And the resurrection is the pinpoint of my belief that Jesus did rise from the grave so that we may live.
What makes Christian mythology real?
So that's not mythology, but that is theology. If Genesis 1:1 and the resurrection is true, anything in the Bible is possible. You're looking at the greatest miracle. The greatest miracle is creation. And then the fact that Jesus rose from the dead. And I say, how do you know that Jesus rose from the dead? Well, show me another historical piece of a story where so many people willingly died a brutal death for a lie. Every single person around him had everything to lose, and yet they went to the absolute death, from Paul to Peter to the half-brother of James, saying that Jesus is Lord, Jesus rose from the dead. Not to mention, if you were going to fake a story, you would not use female witnesses in the ancient world. In the scriptures, it said that the women were the first one to see Jesus Christ. If you're trying to fake a story, you would never do that.
Well, the world has lost another very insightful man, a very knowledgeable man, a very goodness, I don't know what other word I should use to describe this amazing man. Well, personally, I only found out about him. I've only found out more about him after his death, or the day of his death. Yeah, the day of his death. Yeah, so he was a very strong follower of Trump, apparently, and he's a very debateful man, if debateful is a word. He was so much into debating, into speaking on matters of race, of gender equality, gender identity, gun control. He was very much into speaking on a whole lot of issues, controversial issues. He was so much into that kind of stuff. And yet he was married and he has 2 adorable kids. From my research, I only saw 2 adorable kids. Yeah. So very babies, literally. And the way he died was, I mean, at first I wasn't seeing the original video of when he was actually shot, but upon more research, I actually saw more videos on that, and I regretted looking it up. So please, if you cannot watch certain things, if you cannot watch horror movies, let me use that, please do not go and watch that. Or if you cannot watch action movies where you see blood spilling and all that, please do not go and watch that video. Yeah, so I've alerted you ahead of time. Anyways, so this is a man that I actually loved him because of the way he debated, because I'm actually into debate stuff and public speaking and all that stuff. So I really loved like his content and all that. Unfortunately, I found out about him only the day of his death. Yeah, and I looked up some of the videos he watched. I read some of the comments, and apparently he had so much hate. Like, you could literally see people rejoicing over his death, and I'm like, are these human beings rejoicing over his death? Like, it was something that was so normal. And I'm like, okay, if you have varied opinions from someone, it doesn't mean you should desire the person's death. It is so evil and so cruel and so wicked to desire the death of someone, no matter how much you might hate them. That is why one thing that human beings should learn is to have the love of God in them. When you have the love of God in them, you cannot even hate your own enemies. You cannot even hate your own. I just kept asking myself, how and why does he have so much hate in the world? Like, it's across, especially in America. And I'm like, why? How can someone have, okay, maybe I have not seen or heard some of the videos that you guys, or the things that he was saying and so on and so forth. But one thing you should realize as a human being is that you cannot agree with every single person's opinion. You can have your own opinions. You can have your own view of certain topics, of certain discussions. But it does not mean, you cannot force your opinion on someone. That is true. But you cannot also force someone to agree with everything you say. I was so shocked at some of the comments. When his death happened, I was just so shocked. I was overwhelmed. I was so overwhelmed because I'm like, wow. Someone can have so much hate. But then at the same time, I realized that even Jesus Christ, when he was on earth, even he had hate. Even he had so much hate. But one thing he did was to continue to love. That was one thing that he continued to do, to continue to love, even till now. I mean, we all make mistakes. We all have our views and opinions. But if you desire someone's death so much, maybe you should actually check yourself. Actually check yourself. Because I would never... You know what? Let's watch some of the controversial debates that he came up with students and so on and so forth. And before I get into the videos, I want us to keep in mind that you don't have to agree, because there are certain things that I also personally might not agree with concerning the things that he said. So you don't have to agree with everything or accept everything that he says. But then there are certain things that also made so much sense. Like, it made so much sense. It's normal for everyone to have her own varied opinions. But yeah, let's let's just go straight into the videos. Let's start with this one.
Can you tell me what a woman is?
A woman is someone who identifies with femininity.
So just let's pause. That's not a definition. That's like saying a cup is a thing that looks like a cup.
Okay.
So you got to give me a definition, not just, you cannot use the term in your answer.
Well, I have trouble with that because I don't define anything. I don't think that...
So are you a woman?
I am a woman.
You just defined something. You said I don't define anything.
By saying I'm something means that I'm defining something?
Yes, of course. You're making a value. By the way, that's the entire trans argument that I just used, is that you're by definition defining something. So
really?
you are, yes, of course, that's the trans argument.
That's so stupid. By saying that I'm something means that someone else can't be the same thing?
Well,
that's
no,
stupid.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you just said I don't define things, and you went on to just define yourself.
Actually, that one thing I like about him when he's debating is that he makes sure that he asks you questions, like this video, for instance, when he was talking about identifying as a woman, who a woman is, and so on and so forth. He asked who a woman is. Like, he makes sure that you understand what you are getting into before you get into it. That's one thing I liked about most of the videos, because I realized he asks questions. He asks a lot of questions, and he's so bold when he's debating. He's so bold about what he's saying, because he knows what he's saying. He knows what he wants. He knows. You get what I mean? Let's look at other videos.
We got to make sure we're very...
And okay, from this point, I'm going to keep quiet so that we just watch a couple of videos, then I speak.
We got to make sure we're very clear here. That there's no misinformation. So that would be pedophile.
Yep.
So Muhammad, the greatest man ever to live, the greatest example, was a warlord who married a 6-year-old, raped her when she was 9, and then kept multiple wives.
Yep.
Think like Jeffrey Epstein with a standing army. That's basically Muhammad, right? It's wrong to murder a baby.
You're not murdering a baby. It's not a baby.
What is it then?
It is an embryo.
What species is that?
Yeah, I'm so sorry I have to pause here. I don't want to forget what I want to say. So one thing I wanted to say is that, whenever he's talking, I realize that in most of the videos, he says the truth that people do not want to accept. He says the truth that people do not want to agree with. That people, like, maybe they know that it's true, but they just don't want to accept it. They want to go for a different route. That was one thing he was so bold about. He was so bold about speaking the truth, whether it hurt or not. That was one thing that I realized and I actually loved about him. Let's continue with this video.
Baby in the womb.
It's a human, but it's
Therefore,
an
they should have
embryo.
human rights.
No! I do not agree.
Oh, so small humans, no human rights. Grown humans,
It's
human
not
rights.
a small human, it's an embryo.
It has a heartbeat. It has
That
brain
does not
waves.
make it a child.
The excuses given for abortion is dehumanization. Oh, it's just an embryo. Guys, that's just using different language to justify the massacre of something smaller than you. Yeah.
If I were to be pregnant right now and forced to have a baby, that would ruin my life. If I just happened to be pregnant.
Oh, well, you don't happen to get pregnant. It's not like getting COVID.
I know how it
okay?
works.
You don't get the flu.
I know.
How about
but
this?
say
You
I got
take
pregnant.
responsibility for your orgasms and
What if
stop
that doesn't
eliminating
work?
people smaller than you.
So you're saying I should carry a baby and ruin my collegiate life?
How about this? Instead of saying ruin, first of all, babies are a blessing. Stop talking at them as if they're some sort of annoyance.
I will have to drop out of college.
Number two, you play certain games, you win certain prizes. If you're going to go have sex...
So you're saying I should drop out of college to support my child
I'm
instead of supporting my life?
I'm saying if you're going to engage in coitus, in the practice of having children, you might end up with a baby. So know that. And guess what? You don't need to have sex before you get married. It's not like showering. It's not like eating.
Are you married?
Yes, with 2 beautiful children.
Wow, good for you.
I could tell you're not married.
Yeah.
Black people get reparations.
I believe they should.
So I, white man, have to play for black people. Why?
Wow, that's a really selfish thing you just said.
Hold on. Why should I have...
That's a really non-empathetic thing to say.
Why should I have empathy for a race? I have white guilt because I breathe? Why should the white students here have to work harder to pay for black kids? What is that all about?
Not every black person has lineage connected to slaves.
That's
and
true.
every white person doesn't have lineage connected to slaves.
Yes, that's right. So since every black person doesn't have a lineage connected to slaves, why should we generalize and say reparations for black people?
Because there are people that are in a worse place.
So over 150 years, they didn't have any ability to make better decisions, to save money, and to invest. How about you take responsibility for your own actions instead of blaming the white... I think we should have less gun laws, not more. I know people disagree with this. And I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year. I would agree with you. A well-armed citizenry is the greatest protectorate of liberty and freedom in this country.
I'm a transgender male. I just want to know your opinion on things like how old, like, what age should kids be able to get things like hormone therapy, other things like that, or should they wait?
Please show our speaker some uninterrupted speaking time.
Or should they wait till they're an adult or like 25 or something like that?
No kids should ever receive any hormones, testosterone, estrogen, Lupron, any of that, minimally.
Okay.
Scientific industry and doctors have lost our trust completely to know how to prescribe these drugs in a way that helps the patient. Call me a white supremacist. What evidence do you have that I'm a racist?
I was just literally watching a video of you talking about whiteness as a whole, talking about whiteness as a concept, okay? And you were trying to explain how white privilege doesn't exist.
Correct, it doesn't.
You are a white man, how do you know?
What can a white person do that a black person can't do?
Black applicants to jobs are 50% less likely to get jobs if they have a black-sounding name.
That's not even close to being true. That's not even close to being true.
That is a literal...
In fact, it's the opposite.
I'm not going to argue your lived experience. I'm not going to... No.
See, now you have to listen to him under your rules because a black person is going to say you're wrong.
I am. He can say I'm wrong. I know.
Come on up to the mic.
I know. I read your...
my name's Keemon Dixon. I have a really black name. Please tell me how 50% of my internships have been denied when I've worked for Senator Mike Lee, Mayor Trent Sachs, Speaker Mike Schultz.
Hold on.
I worked for a Congressman, Burgess Owens. I've actually worked on his campaign. I've worked on the campaigns of John Huntsman Jr. Please tell me how my black experience and my black name has not given me... Go ahead.
So, are you a Christian by any chance?
Very, very much so.
Like, why is that exactly?
Oh, Jesus saved my life. I'm a sinner, gave my life to Christ, most important decision I ever made.
So you believe the Bible is real?
Yes, I believe the Bible is true and real. Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, I could give you the technical answer. There's never been an archaeological discovery that has contradicted the truth of the Bible. And then, of course, the wisdom. There is not a truth of the Bible that if you apply to your life does not improve dramatically. And then finally, we have the most accurate and transparent, historically robust account that one can have of the most important figure ever to live in the history of the world, Jesus of Nazareth. And the resurrection is the pinpoint of my belief that Jesus did rise from the grave so that we may live.
What makes Christian mythology real?
So that's not mythology, but that is theology. If Genesis 1:1 and the resurrection is true, anything in the Bible is possible. You're looking at the greatest miracle. The greatest miracle is creation. And then the fact that Jesus rose from the dead. And I say, how do you know that Jesus rose from the dead? Well, show me another historical piece of a story where so many people willingly died a brutal death for a lie. Every single person around him had everything to lose, and yet they went to the absolute death, from Paul to Peter to the half-brother of James, saying that Jesus is Lord, Jesus rose from the dead. Not to mention, if you were going to fake a story, you would not use female witnesses in the ancient world. In the scriptures, it said that the women were the first one to see Jesus Christ. If you're trying to fake a story, you would never do that. Not to mention the 500 people that saw Jesus after he rose from the dead, and then the later church that lived under persecution under the belief that Jesus Christ was the Son of God.
So these are a couple of videos that I personally selected to put together so that we all watch some of the controversial issues that he spoke on. That was gender, race, religion or Islam, gender identity, and gun control. Yeah, you know, to be honest, speaking of the gun control, to be honest, I didn't know about him, like I said, until the day of his death, when my friend posted a picture of him and typed under that, she never really liked him, but then no one deserved to die this way. And I agree, no one deserves to die this way. Honestly, I didn't know about him. I was not hearing anything because I don't really spend much time on TikTok and stuff. So I asked her questions about how, like, what happened, who is he? And she told me, oh, he's a very strong follower of Trump, like a very strong supporter, let me use supporter of Trump, and he was shot dead, and he didn't believe in, she told me he didn't believe in guns, the gun violence. Yeah, he didn't believe in gun violence. And the first thing I said was that people always want to see before they believe. Like, they always want to experience before they believe. And now this has happened. That was a very cruel thing to say, maybe. But then at that point, I didn't know anything about, so I just spoke from what I heard. Okay. So I just went on TikTok and I went to do a lot of search, and I saw that this was some of the things that he spoke on. This was how he spoke about it. These are some of the things that he did. And then the people that liked him and people that hated him. Oh my God, if you read some of the comments, I mean, someone literally asked if the bullet was okay. Someone asked if the bullet was okay. And I'm like, is this supposed to be a joke? People are just so cruel. People are really so cruel. Honestly, no one deserves to die the way he died. And I was talking to a friend about it, and I was like, this particular case, the way it happened, the person definitely, like, they wanted him dead because they shot his neck, not any other part of the body where, like, something could have been done. At least they literally shot where they knew that nothing could have been done. So it was straight death. And this happened right in front of his children, right in front of his wife. Imagine that is going to be playing in their head over and over again. What I want us to learn from all this is that no matter what, the Bible says love everyone, even your enemies, even those who persecute you. Let us learn to love. One thing that all humans should learn to do is to learn to love. No matter how difficult you think it is, no matter how stressful you think it is, love is one of the greatest things that we can ever possess, we can ever have. Let us all learn to love. Let us learn to respect people's views. The fact that you do not agree with someone's views does not mean that you should want death for the person, or that you should kill the person, or that you should end the person's life. No one's life is in your hands. You do not have the right to take someone's life away, because you can't give life. You cannot give life, so you don't have the right or the ability or whatever power that you think you might be having to take away that person's life. It is okay to have varied opinions. It is okay to not agree with someone on what they say. It doesn't mean you should kill the person. whatever reason it is that the person killed him for, it is onto that person. But I hope that we all learn a lot. We should take responsibilities for our actions. We should, if you want to have varied opinions, it does not mean that you should go and kill someone who has a different opinion from you. No. No way. That is so wrong. And also, one thing I love about him is how bold he speaks, how boldly he speaks. And when he's speaking, he does not stammer. He just flows. Like I said, I love debates because I personally am into that kind of stuff. So I just admire this man so much. I pray to God that his soul really rests in perfect peace, that his family is consoled and comforted, and that God really restores unto them their peace, their joy, and their strength. May it be renewed. And I pray for all those that hate him so much to the extent that you make such comments that you actually think about it. If you do not know how it really feels, put yourself in that place. If it was you, how would you feel if this had happened to you? Because there are certain opinions that you have that most of us might not agree to. Does it mean you deserve to die? Ask yourself that question. Do you deserve to die because of the opinions that you have? So why should someone else die because of the opinions that they carry or that they share? I'm going to end the video here. Please do well to comment your thoughts on this. Like the video, subscribe, share, and I hope we learn a lot from this. We all make mistakes, but let's realize our mistakes and work towards them. Like I did mine. I did not end there by the comment I passed. I went to search because I also had to know for myself. And when I searched, I just got a lot of knowledge, a lot of qualities. I just fell in love with it. Let us stop trying to force our opinions on other people. We are humans. We all have our views and opinions about so many things, so many different things. And so many topics are very controversial. And also, one thing we should learn from him is how bold he was, how outspoken he was, how he always wanted to say the truth no matter the hate he got. One thing I realized is that he always, I don't know if I've said this in the earlier part, but he always said the truth that no one wanted to accept, that no one wanted to agree with. But it was the truth. It is the truth. Thank you guys so much. It's a very long video, so I'm going to end here. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, turn on post notifications, like the video, share, comment, and stay tuned for more. I love you guys so much. Peace.